Devotees of Sri Ramakrishna celebrate the 1st of January every year as Kalpataru Day. That is to commemorate and to celebrate the event that happened on the 1st of 1886 when Sri Ramakrishna was very ill and it was a holiday, and his disciples and followers went to Kashipur garden house where he was recuperating. For treatment, he was kept there. And they went there and they were waiting in the afternoon inside the gate. And Sri Ramakrishna was in his room. It is a little away, about close to 100 yards away, and it was on the first floor. And he suddenly appeared. He wouldn't go out and all that. It was, winter, cold like this today, how the kind of weather we have today. So in Bengal, it's quite cold, 12:30. So he was there, and he slowly walked down the stairs and then went and met them. And they were all delighted, everyone. And then he was talking, he said, he asked Girish Ghosh, you were telling everyone that I am an avatar, what have you seen, what do you know? And as Girish Ghosh said, what Vyas and Valmiki could not say, what can I say about that? And then Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi and said, Tomader Shobar Chaitanya Hok. That means, may you wake up, become Chaitanya's consciousness. So may you all awake. And everyone felt a great happiness out of the world, and they got whatever they wanted, whatever they asked him for, like the Kalpataru tree, which we have in our Puranas and all that. So, like wish-fulfilling tree. So he was that day, whoever asked him got what they wanted. So that is why the devotees, his followers, and people who go to the Ramakrishna temples and all that, they celebrate the 1st of January as Kalpataru Day. And one of the teachings that is publicized, Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, is that there are different paths, as many paths as there are ways, or something like that. Jato mot tato path. He's supposed to have said that any path you take, any religious path that you follow, will take you to the same place. And he did sadhana in various, he did Islam and Christianity and all that. And then, so that is publicized, but I think that is actually limiting the application of that, because not everyone has to be religious, or not everyone can be religious. So, and the Almighty or God or consciousness, what we talk about, is not limited to religious people. You don't have to go to a temple or be religious, or don't have to be a disciple or a follower of God or a believer of God. Everyone is in one place. What Sri Krishna says, Mamekam Sharanam Braja, in the Gita he says, and then he says, Sarva Dharma Parityajya, you only believe in me. Don't go to this and that and things like that. That has a very wide meaning, which we unfortunately limit. So dharma is actually a very wide, very huge word with many connotations. So it is not correct to limit the meaning of dharma. So dharma, suppose there's a carpenter, and the carpenter cannot do a barber's job, or a mason, he cannot build an image, a clay image, or a teacher, he can't do a plumber's job, he cannot repair the pipes in the bathroom. So everyone has to do what he is good for. So there's a huge problem in the world of not being satisfied with the job. Job satisfaction is very rare, we will see. And that is what that Sri Krishna says, you do what your dharma is. If you're good at making shoes, you do that. No work is small. If you're good at teaching, if you're good at something else, you do that. If you can make a garland, or you can stitch clothes, You don't have to, you are a tailor, you don't have to become a barber, or don't have to become a teacher or something. That is what. Do what you want, do what you like. And the main thing is liking what you do. What you're fit for, you do that. That is your dharma. And dharma is for, so that you can carry on this life, you can be happy. The purpose of life is to be happy and peaceful. Without shanti and sukh, both have to be there. Sukh is not so important, but shanti is very important. And you have to experience that. And for that, unless you are happy, this mamekam sharam raja. What is that mamekam? To me, he would not. Do you think he said about himself, Sri Krishna, "Hey, Amar Shurita," or you believe only in me or something? Not that. The thing that is inside us, that is what we call the self or the Atma. That is what people call God. The people who are followers of God, they call the Atma God, but they don't know what they are calling God, because there is no one more important to me than myself. That we have to believe. We have to know that. Everyone knows. You may doubt whether God is there somewhere in the heaven or somewhere, but actually we don't doubt our own existence. We know we exist. So we are what people talk as God, is what is inside us. So you believe in yourself. Swami Vivekananda said, if you don't believe in yourself, how can you believe in God? First thing is you have to believe in yourself. Sri Ramana Maharishi, he always said, concentrate on the self. The self is what is inside us, which makes us conscious. We are like so many toys, like that toy drummer or monkey or motor car or something, which is run by a battery. That battery is the power, the Shakti that we have. The moment the power plug is pulled off or the current goes, we all die. That's how we are run. And this consciousness is like that. There is a huge consciousness that is powering the whole universe. There is something behind all this that makes us run, that makes our lives meaningful. We have to look for happiness, and that happiness we get only when we do what we love. So aptitude is very important. We see job satisfaction is very rare nowadays. So many few people are doing. You want everyone to be a doctor or engineer or something. You want, not everyone. No one wants to become a plumber or a mason or a leather worker or something. That is not the way. Many women, they are doomed to be kitchen service, doing cooking all their lives, bringing up children. That is not why they are not happy. If they are not happy, that means they are doing the wrong thing. It is not accepting. This life is very precious. It is your precious life. You can do anything you want with it. It is a sin to restrict people to a certain thing, that women only have to cook, or women only have to make the bed, or women only have to sweep. These are all, notions of, what can you say, very shonkin, very narrow notions, All these prophets and all, what they teach is a different thing, and people interpret it differently, because human brain does not take everything correctly. They don't understand. They cannot digest unless you're at a certain stage. Basically, nobody can follow. If you're already, your jar is full, what new knowledge can you give? If I want to talk about something, the person will say, I know. Already, he is like a pot which is full to the brim. Not one drop of water will go in. So most people are like that. All these educated people, mostly, they already think they know everything. That is why they don't learn. But till the end of our lives, we have to learn. We can learn from a little child. We can learn from a dog. We can learn from a madman. We can learn from a fool. We can learn from a very clever man. We can learn from a rogue. They are different. They are good at different things. Even a chap who is cheating at card game, he knows how to cheat. He knows something. He has brains, and he's doing it his way. A pickpocket. He is doing what he can. So that way, he is using his brain. Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, wherever you see these powers, even the cheat like Shakuni, know that to be my power. Warrior like Arjuna, know that to be my power. So everywhere, whether good and bad is a very human thing. We decide from our selfish angle. What is good for another person may not be good for me. It may be bad. They say one man's food is another man's poison, like that. So if a pickpocket If he takes your money and goes, he is very happy, but you are sad because you're attached to the money, and that man needs it for his family. So, which is not a bad thing. We think it is a bad thing, it is a sin and all that. It is not a sin. He is taking the money to run his family. So many, his children will eat, his wife will eat, and they will get clothes, they will go to school. So it's actually a service. Everyone blames God. Oh God, why did you do this and all that? So God is not doing in this, or this corona and all that. The virus. The virus also has a life. So these things have to go on. We decide from a narrow, as if the human beings are the only things on the planet. Everyone has a right to live. A leopard has to hunt. A cat has to catch a mouse. You cannot say God is supporting the cat and not supporting the mouse. The mouse catches an insect. That is how civilization, this creation goes on. So this Jyotirmot Tatopot, we cannot limit it to religion. I mean, that you just don't think that only religious people get, what they say, moksha or mukti or anything. You don't have to be religious. You can just follow your path, be honest, don't hurt anyone, that's all. And you know that you are okay, you be happy. You can be happy only if the other person is happy. That is the way people have to be enlightened. Just because it is limited to temples and masjids and churches, that is why most people don't know about these things. So religion is only a path. It makes it convenient if you follow it properly, but you should not be forced into these things. Let people have a choice. They can choose their way, they can choose their path, but they should know why they are doing it. You don't need a religion. If you're an ordinary man who's an honest man doing this thing, somehow managing his life, not hurting anyone, why does he need religion? To be happy, he should know that he is not permanent. The body has to perish one day, and that's all. So he need not worry. Just blaming some God who is sitting somewhere for all our woes or all our happiness, giving him credit, that is not the way. That's why we are not happy, Things happen because they have to happen. Naturally, so many things keep happening and they have to happen. You cannot say just because a pilgrim is going to some temple and he is dying in a bus accident, you cannot say, oh, why he is such a devotee and he is dying in the accident. Or these things happen. Nothing to do with whether he is a pilgrim or not. Even a rogue, suppose the lightning falls, it does not fall on a rogue or on the crooks. It can fall anywhere. Even innocent people on the field get killed. So we have to think of that, Religion is not important for everyone. It depends on a person's temperament. Just like somebody may like maths, somebody may like economics, someone may like commerce, someone may like literature. So that is how it is. Someone may want to be a sportsman. Nothing wrong with that. Someone wants to be a musician. If he can excel in that, the joy he gets is the joy of the spirit, not of the body. And that spirit is what you are. The joy you get, life is meant to be joyful. You have to be happy. You have to be peaceful. Once you get joy, once you have peace, then what is the problem? You don't have to bother about anything else. You don't no need to go for this thing, church or temple or anywhere. You just be yourself, be honest. That is it. Don't harm anyone.